Siamo con James Varga, CEO e founder di IDCO. Good morning.
Morning, how you doing?
What's the main business model of IDCO?
So what we do at the IDCO is we have a open banking B2B SaaS platform, a global platform, and we use bank data, open banking, to help businesses onboard customers. So really addressing those fundamental pains around credit risk, affordability, and fraud, so that a business can onboard a customer, sign them up to a product or a service. They can do that in seconds.
What do you think? Where are we in the open banking journey?
In terms of Italy,
Europe, Italy in comparison with the US?
So I think open banking is still at the early stages. The regulatory push has been fantastic from regulators across Europe and now across the world. Open banking is a global trend with, I believe now 13 countries, including places like South Korea and Japan, India, all signing off on open banking initiatives. And that's a first great step. You know, the infrastructure, the regulatory structure to enable open banking across the world, especially at a time when we're moving more towards global finance, is a fantastic move. But the next challenge for open banking is how do we consume the data? Where's the benefit, and how are we going to change lives or businesses by taking that data that open banking provides us, taking that and applying it to business pain and consumer need across the world. So this next phase of open banking for me is the most exciting, right? This is where we start to take advantage of what all that hard work that's been done, the pioneering that's been done by UK in terms of open banking implementation entity and that global trend, and we really start to translate it to real value. If we can do that in this next phase, then we'll be able to benefit from it and really change the world from it.
And what are the big challenges?
It's all around use case and context. For me, that's the big challenge, is figuring out what data applies to what use case and what benefit. One of the greatest examples for me, having built a personal finance management and aggregation service before, is the realization that people don't like to manage their money. You know, actually the consumer wants to spend money. Understanding these use cases and what components of data really solve what pain is the challenge there. It's one of the reasons why out of the 100-odd use cases that we've seen over the last 3 to 8 years now, we've been working in bank data, is why we focus on customer onboarding, because there's a tangible benefit there both to the business, and some of our customers can see a 20% to 30% increase in conversion, which is massive for somebody doing 4 billion of consumer loans a year. But also the fraud impact is amazing as well. 7.5% reduction in fraud for one of those businesses also has a huge benefit. But if the use case, the context, doesn't also benefit the consumer, then the consumer doesn't go through that process. And open banking has this challenge of the consumer needs to authenticate to their bank. So you always need to keep in mind the consumer. Of all the use cases that we've seen, the one component that really resonates with consumers is convenience. So we can create business impact in these use cases, this context, and consumer convenience, then that works, right? People go through the process, there is the impact and things happen. But there's a lot of use cases that are imbalanced. They don't provide both benefit on both sides of the coin.
IDCO is based in Scotland. Are you expanding in other parts of Europe?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we cover, I believe, 5 countries in Europe. So globally we cover 32 countries globally through connecting to 5,500 to 6,000 banks right now. And this year, on the back of PSD2, we're rolling out across Europe. So we've got about 10 countries this year, by the end of this year, to roll out to, and about 10 next year.
Is it important to have many events like this to build an ecosystem in banking and open banking and fintech?
Absolutely. Events like this are critical, especially as we're at that next phase. This is the phase where people, businesses in all walks of life, either from the banks, the fintechs, the regulators, we really need to understand the use case of the context. We need to build awareness and understanding of how these things work, right? Where are we all going to fit into this big open banking pie, and what roles are we going to play? And it's events like this that bring that level of awareness up in an industry.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.